Yo, welcome back to another video. We are in the Open Ultra League, and let's see what we're going to be running. We got the Trevenant paired with the Registeel and the Tapu Fini. They switch out into the Ampharos. Unfortunately, not the best situation for us, so we're just going to have to switch into our Registeel here. Here we're going to call a bait, and ends up being the Focus Blast. So a little bit unlucky that the Ampharos new Focus Blast right there. Otherwise, we would have been able to take it down. They are able to get to a brutal swing here. They switch out into the Dragonite. We're going to have to throw a move here just to potentially get a shield. They actually switch out into their Swampert. The Swampert here is going to potentially throw a Earthquake. We do shield the correct Earthquake. We're going to throw this Surf on optimal timing here. Surf does get shielded, and now we're going to have to farm extra here. Potential Earthquake, we're going to shield here. They actually go for the Hydro Cannon bait. We go to two Surfs. We throw the first Surf here. Does it KO? Doesn't quite KO. So a little bit of a missed call right there. They go for the Earthquake, and we do have enough energy for a Moonblast. Let's see if this Moonblast does KO. It does one-hit KO, and we are able to farm down with the Tapu Fini. So GG's to our opponent right there. Able to win that with the Tapu Fini with a ton of energy. Unfortunate that Ampharos did flip the switch and it knew the Focus Blast. But it is what it is sometimes. Nice move. Alright, Trevenant versus this Scalar Dirge. Not the best matchup for the Trevenant. We're going to switch out into the Tapu Fini. We're going to shield here to preserve the health of the Tapu Fini. Our opponent does reveal that they have Poliwrath, so we're going to have to go for this Moonblast. Ends up getting a shield. No debuff, so unfortunately, we don't get lucky with the debuff right there. We take a Scold. The Scold doesn't get the debuff either. We're going to go for another Moonblast. They double shield for this situation. And at this point, we're trying to get to at least a Surge to chip away. And unfortunately, that did not work out. We're going to have to tank an Icy Wind right here. They have two Icy Winds. This next Icy Wind wouldn't KO, so we're just going to let it go. We're going to switch out into the Regi once they switch out into their Scalar Dirge. The Scalar Dirge does get to a move. We're going to have to shield this Shadow Ball right here. Going to throw this Zap Cannon. Does the Zap Cannon take out the Scalar Dirge from this range? No, it doesn't. And we don't get the debuff, so they're going to be able to get a good amount of farm right here. They go for another Shadow Ball. Shadow Ball, we survive it barely. We're going to go for this Zap Cannon here against this Poliwrath. Takes out the Poliwrath, and they end up having the Greedent in the back. So unfortunately, this Trevenant has no play versus this Greedent and that Scalar Dirge. So that Scalar Dirge was not good in this against this team. So we're gonna switch out the order and see if that helps. We're gonna go for the Tapu Fini in the lead, and then Registeel and Trevenant in the back. So let's see if that works out a little bit better for us. We got the Tapu Fini against the Greedent here. Kind of a neutral matchup. They're going to be able to spam a ton of moves. But at least this Greedent doesn't get matched up against this Trevenant. So at least that's a positive. We're going to have to tank the next move here. And do we go for the Moonblast or do we go for the Surf here? We're going to go for the Moonblast. Looking for huge damage. They do shield it. We're going to switch out here just to get a head start in energy with the Registeel. We do catch a Body Slam, so inefficient energy right here. They go for the Crunch. This Crunch does neutral damage, but it doesn't debuff, so we did avoid that potential debuff. We do avoid another debuff right there. We're going to go for this Focus Blast. They shield as well. Wow. Okay, so this Greedent is definitely trying to take out our Registeel. They do not want to see Registeel in the back, and that is why they do have a Fairy type in the back. They try to catch a move. We were aware of that. We throw the Zap Cannon. It does get the debuff. Do we want to keep this Registeel? We decided to let it go. We're thinking 2-shield Trevenant is going to be the winning combination. We're going to go for this Moonblaster to take out this Clefable. It could be anything about another Fairy, another Flyer. Okay, it ends up being the Tentacruel in the back. Tentacruel here is fairly tanky. Our opponent does switch out, trying to catch a Shadow Ball. We do shield a Crunch right there. We don't get the debuff, so we are winning these debuff coin flips. We're going to go for another Seed Bomb here. It finally takes out that Greedent. That Greedent was absolutely a pain to take out. We take his Scald right here. And then now we're going to be able to get to a Shadow Ball. This Shadow Ball will do a good amount of damage. Gets into the low red. Will we be able to farm it down? Yes, we will. So GG's to our opponent right there. Able to win with the Greedent lead. All right, next game. Let's see. We got the Tapu Fini versus the Giratina. This is all about potential baiting and shield usage. They do decide to go for the Ancient Power, so looks like they do not have the Shadow Sneak, but most of the damage is dropping from the Shadow Claws. We're going to switch into the Regi right here. They end up getting the boost. That is so unlucky. We catch an inefficient Ancient Power. They get the boost. They go for another Ancient Power here. Our opponent does stay in for now. Okay, we go for a Zap Cannon, get the attack to debuff, but their defense is already pretty tanky right now. Now, we're going to have to tank another move. They're just staying in, going for the Dragon Claw right there. Interesting. Now we're going to go for a Zap Cannon. The Zap Cannon gets another debuff, so we finally get into the red, but we know that this Giratina has the defense. So we do switch out, and our opponent does reveal that they have the Tentacruel in the back. Tentacruel is going to dominate this Tapu Fini, able to farm us down. Now we have to decide if we want to use the Registeel to get a move, or we're going to go into our Trevenant. We decided to go into our Trevenant as our switch timer has not reset. Our opponent does go for the Ancient Power, or sorry, the Acid Spray, and then they go for another Acid Spray. Unfortunately, we have to shield the second one. We're looking for a farm down. We do get the farm down, which is fantastic. And then now we're going to switch out into the Registeel, going for the Zap Cannon. They do end up shielding it. But unfortunately for us, the Giratina is able to come back in, and it has a ton of energy, so they're going to be able to throw back-to-back Dragon Claws here. And we're not going to be able to win this, because that Mandibuzz is going to hard counter that Trevenant as well. So they have the Mandibuzz and Giratina combo. Tough situation. That would have been that. I needed the Tapu Fini to stay alive more. All right, so we're gonna see the Sand Slasher versus this Tapu Fini. Our goal here is to get this low enough so we can farm down with something in the back. We did decide to shield that one right there. They decided to let this one go. Okay, we're gonna have to tank this next move here, and now we're gonna see if they're gonna shield or potential shield being used here. One serve goes through, they decide to let it go, and they end up having the Jellicent, but they have they switch out into the Poliwrath in the back, so they had double waters in the back here. We're gonna go for the Zap Cannon. We do get the debuff. Unfortunately for us, this Scald goes through and it gets the debuff. We're gonna go for this Focus Blast right here. This Focus Blast does get a shield from this Poliwrath. We're trying to get to another one here, and it looks like we're going to allow this Scald to go through. Now we gotta see if we want to go for this Trevenant farm down or the Tapu Fini. Unfortunately, we do get the Icy Wind debuff. We're gonna try to catch a move. Okay. Let's see if this is the okay. It ends up being the Surf. Unfortunately, they're able to farm down, and now we're gonna see if we can get to 2 Seed Bombs here. Oh, we actually needed to go for a Shadow Ball. So unfortunately, they're gonna be able to win this because we have no more shields. The win condition right there was to go for the Shadow Ball, but nice play by my opponent. Check out this team if you haven't already, and let us know if you enjoyed the video.